Aloha, I'm Chiara Logli, Institutional Assessment Specialist at the Honolulu Community College. My presentation is entitled Cultural Compass, Navigating Assessment Data Through Indigenous Wayfinding. I thank Ululani Kahikina, Rocky Midro, Jarina Pacarro, and Kathy Tibbets for their mentorship and my EO Inavai colleagues for their inspiration. The photography of the Hawaiian sky is by PhD candidates in astronomy at the University of Hawaii. This presentation captures my final project of the EO Inavai cohort, a year-long, in-depth training for employees who want to implement indigenous approaches in their work. Over the years, 35% of our faculty and staff have participated in this professional development. It's a wonderful program, a transformative space, very needed because 18% of the faculty and staff and 30% of the students are native Hawaiian. However, foster indigenous ways is part of everyone living and working in Hawaii. My project is tied to my position. I support assessment across the whole campus, from courses to services and administrative units, from qualitative to quantitative data sets. Native Hawaiian framework have been the compass to navigate the campus assessment with intentionality, fulfillment, and impact on our constituents. The navigation theme is inspired by ancient Hawaiian voyaging, which remains vibrant today thanks to Hokulea, a replica of a traditional voyaging canoe. In 2014, she circumnavigated the world over a span of 3 years and connected with coastal communities in 26 countries about the commitment to care for the planet, in Hawaiian, Malama Honua. She has no instrument, no compass, no GPS. Instead, she reads the stars, winds, waves, and birds. This year's theme at CREA is relational responsibilities, kuleana in Hawaiian. In my assessment role, I approach evaluation as a teaching and research based on rigor and empathy. I integrate students, faculty, and staff's diverse voices throughout the whole research process. I focus on data points that can be meaningful for our current and prospect students and families, for the University of Hawaii system, encompassing 10 campuses across community colleges, four-year universities, and graduate schools, for our state legislators, and for U.S. accreditors. I frame teaching and research within the context of Hawaii and the surrounding Pacific. Native Hawaiian approaches offer unique and valuable contributions to the world, including culture-based assessment, which can adapt to many spaces. In this presentation, I focus on course assessments, namely the reflection around the learning by faculty that I gathered over the past 4 years. I am presenting the preliminary results and welcome your feedback so I can make adjustments as I move forward. I started with the quantitative data for an initial aerial view, then I proceeded with the qualitative data for a deeper understanding. Every semester, all our lecturers and faculty answer 4 questions about one of their courses. The first question is numerical. Has each student met each learning outcome? The remaining 3 questions are a reflection about the course overall, what worked, what needs to change, what methods you used to assess learning. They are simple and open questions, don't ask about any specific pedagogy, and are not framed within a problem deficit mindset. The intent is to leave the instructors free to focus on thriving strategies and improvement actions. Faculty draw from their assessments to adjust their teaching. The course, the curriculum map, and the collaboration with the services on campus, for example, Hawaiian Center, library, counselors, all support units. As institutional assessment specialist, I elevate the reflections from the classroom to the institution. I analyze the data, identify campus-wide trends, discuss the results in small groups of students, faculty, and staff to ensure that the analysis is sound and to gather further information. The ultimate purpose is rooted in the etymology of the term assessment, to sit together. Together we celebrate what supports learning, and together we envision what can advance learning further for all students for a prosperous Hawaii. I use the grounded theory methodology and inductive approach. Theories are derived from the data rather than from testing existing hypotheses. I use the Illumen assessment management system to disaggregate and analyze quantitative data. I use NVivo qualitative software to code text. Although IRB approval is not required for evaluation, I always follow IRB ethical procedures. Participants are informed about the data purposes, the data is confidential, and all identifiers are removed from the analysis to preserve anonymity. The codes that I identified in the data echo several bodies of literature, such as the Universal Design for Learning, Na'alaike, Nalaulama, Moenaha. The first round of codes is specific, is practical, is attached to the data, word by word. For example, faculty list strategies that resonate with the Universal Design for Learning guidelines to first engage learners, engagement, then teach the subject, representation, and have them practice and act upon their learning, action, and expression. The UDL foundation is that teaching must honor all learners' ways of knowing, all epistemologies. The second round of codes is broader. It groups previous codes together and lifts the analysis from a checklist of practices to Hawaiian overarching principles. The Na'alaike, Nalaulama, and Moenaha are distinct modules but intersect around 4 areas that are relevant for my data. O'olohe, relationship, connection, context. Ho'opili, content and skills. O'oana, practice and application. O'opuka, creation and contribution. UDL and many pedagogical frameworks are newer modules than indigenous approaches, but confirm the importance of those 4 aspects of learning: engagement, representation, action, expression, and the importance of contextualize them within each space and time. This is the conceptual map at this point. It's in progress, where I keep track of the modules and how they connect based on the data. The findings are organized by 4 questions. With regard to the first numerical question, Have students met the learning outcomes? Students are learning the outcomes at an average of 83%, Native Hawaiian at 84%. This is a point of celebration. It is also a point of looking deeper into the data. Students face more challenges in 5 areas. In critical thinking and community awareness, social responsibility, compared to the other outcomes: career preparation, information literacy, effective communication, quantitative reasoning. In the fall semester, see the performance dip in the fall and rise in the spring. Online, the bottom online performance is around 80% versus the top in-person performance around 90%. At a younger age, especially recent high school graduates who enter college and adulthood, in addition to acclimate to college life, they also work, pay their bills, and have family responsibilities. Within the Pacific Islander community, the focus groups with students, faculty, and staff have identified possible initiatives to support these areas. For example, Pacific Islander students benefit from peer mentorship, student organizations, services that support first-generation students, such as on-campus jobs, financial literacy, student skills, and faculty and staff who are knowledgeable about their history and culture. Faculty and staff need to understand the political ties that bound Pacific Islands to the US and their impact on cultural landscapes. Therefore, we organized student panels and guest presentations to get to know our Pacific Islander communities and ways to support them. The 1-hour video on supporting Micronesian communities by Paul Hadek is eye-opening. We first need to know our students and where they are from exactly. The question, "Where are you from?" is very important in Indigenous context. We should know about students' home because it impacts their educational experience. For example, designing learning for flexibility and support is vital. It may take months for students to get a registration document from a remote island. A student may be absent for several weeks to attend a relative's funeral. There is only one flight a week and multiple ferries involved, as well as unpredictable weather variables. A student may know English but not academic jargon. When asked to read the font in bold, a student was looking for a visual of a bald head, a head without hair. A student may benefit from a computer on campus or at a designated space, but not at home, where the extensive family would end up using it as expected in any collective culture. Our early childhood professors are former preschool teachers. They are used to know everything about their children, from how many times they go to the bathroom to what family dynamics surround them. Yet in college, professors know very little about their students. Therefore, they developed the All About You questionnaire, a survey that they distribute on the first day of class to get to know their students. For example, do you have A computer or printer? Do you catch the bus? Do you work? Do you care for somebody else? Based on the answers, they planned the assessment accordingly to provide a real chance to learn and demonstrate learning. If a student doesn't have a printer, instructors don't plan hard copy assignments. If students depend on public transportation, instructors ensure that the classroom is open early so students can settle down and use the time productively, and that the lesson ends timely so students don't miss the bus. If students work 3 jobs or care for a parent on dialysis 3 times a week, a common scenario on our islands, instructors design expectations accordingly. As the framework indicated, relationship, connection, context are the entryway into learning. Learning cannot happen without the engagement piece. With regard to the questions about assessment methods, our faculty honor different ways of demonstrating learning. Exams, oral presentations, and writing activities are the most common, but they are combined with other assessment methods: observation with visual displays, projects with exams, writing with oral presentations. With regard to what worked and what needs to change, faculty reflects on all aspects of learning, from engagement to representation, action, and expression. Diving deeper in the data, we can see how faculty activate the 3 aspects of learning. They engage students by welcoming interest and identities, sustaining effort and persistence, and building emotional capacity. They represent information through perception, displaying information in multiple ways, and building knowledge. Diving even deeper, the last slide in small font is my current code map in progress. The largest quadrants indicate the more present areas in the data. Students learn through various modalities and demonstrate knowledge through various modalities. Students have many opportunities to collaborate and build knowledge by activating background knowledge and organizing the materials in digestible manners. Learning shows its relevance through field trips, in-class activities, and initiatives through the University of Hawaii system of 10 campuses. Providing support and opportunities to practice is important. Offering action-oriented feedback, choice, autonomy, and personal student capacity is part of the classroom. Next, I will complete the data coding, frame the results with Hawaiian modules, including follow-up with those STAR faculty who implement Hawaiian approaches. This is the list of resources that I used at this point. Mahalo for your time and interest.